after Stephanie and I had a conversation in the hallway, which are the best conversations and sometimes the worst in realtor world, it really hit home that of the hundreds of thousands of people who have passed through this Realtor Association in our 102 years, I'm the 102nd person to get to stand here. That's weighty. And although I'm usually one for humor, I'm either really funny or really bawling my eyes out. There's not a lot in between. But when you realize what the responsibility looks like, you still have fun with it. But you can't lose sight of what really matters. And I was looking at the state motto we have. Those of y'all that had a good fourth grade teacher. My fourth grade teacher at Odell Elementary right here in Concord was Betty Steen. And some of y'all that are political junkies might know her son Fred Steen, who works in the state government, currently working for DPI. We call her Mean Steen the homework machine. And I thought she was a giantess, when as it turns out, she was approximately the height of Treasure. But when I was in the fourth grade, I thought that was quite tall. And I learned everything she gave me. That's how I know our state bird is the cardinal. That's how I know our state reptile is the box turtle. Some of y'all knew that, right? And you know what our state food is. Well, collard greens are my favorite, but it's correctly cooked barbecue, which is not South Carolina. I love y'all, but that mustard's got to go. In Kansas, I love you, but that's not barbecue either. We were right, Eastern style, with some vinegar in it. And so I learned all those things. But one of the things that I learned about North Carolina in the fourth grade was our motto, esse quam videre, to be rather than to sing. And then I got to thinking about our reputation as realtors. The world sees you as they are presented with a version on HGTV and Bravo. And they think that, in the immortal words of Bill Gallagher, all you do is some hauling and hoping, pitching and praying. But that's the surface of what you do. The truth is, you guys have the most substance of any profession that's out there. You are so much more than the surface. You are so much more than what people think. And when I think about what that means in our world, and we're heading into a rocky economic time, it's going to continue to be turbulent. And the things that are false blow away, and that's not who you are. I know better than to think that you're like those people on HGTV. You know how I know that you're different than those portrayals of realtors we see? I probably should call them real estate agents, because I don't know if they are bound by the code of ethics. I know because you said yes. A lot of y'all said yes to serving right now. And I couldn't be happier than to be surrounded by all the leaders who stood up, to have all of the local presidents as presidents with me. Not on any other plane but them together. To have all of our affiliate organizations here so that we can do great things together. I wanted you honored alongside, because we have to come alongside to do big things in a turbulent time. And you said yes right now. I am so proud to be Team 23. And for those of y'all that forgot, the best basketball player ever is not that dude in the Midwest. It is our boy from Wilmington and Carolina, Michael Jordan. And what was Michael's number? 23. So that means this year has to be coach. There is no discussion about this state. People, you're going to have to let go. We know you got some free throws, but we won. So anyway, it's not shade if it's true. Anyway, I know that your thoughtfulness has been shining this whole week, your creativity, your brains, and most importantly, your willingness to help each other. I think we can all agree that the last session we had yesterday at Vision Quest of the presidents and presidents-elect was a striking example of what realtor leadership looks like. It was, I want to solve one thing, and then 14 hands would go up, try this, we tried this, we have an idea. And that's the best of realtor life. When we get out of our solitary silos and say, I'm number one, and we learn how to bring each other along. It's no mistake that my two best friends in real estate, Jason and Alex, met me in that desire to figure out how we help each other and move along. It's no secret that my best friends in this room are the ones who changed me by challenging me. And that's what you said yes to. You said yes to being challenged, and you also said yes to being changed. And that came because a lot of y'all said yes before we did. A lot of y'all have been in the business for decades. You made this night happen because you said yes. Somebody tapped you on the shoulder and you said, I don't know what an association is. Well, let me go see what professional standards is. This sounds interesting. And then you got into this world and found out how meaningful it is. And along the way of your saying yes, you made our political advocacy work. You've changed the lives of citizens in all 100 counties, all because a lot of y'all said yes decades ago. You didn't know that I would get into real estate. You didn't know that my daughter, who scooted because she has homework to be fair, is working on her real estate license because she is now 18. On her prayer list, we just pray that girl passes and we'll figure that out. But the reality is you didn't know any of us would come behind you, but you did the most important job any leader does, which is create the pathway, look behind you on the pathway and grab somebody's hand and bring them up alongside you. It is not about bringing somebody behind you, it is about bringing somebody beside you. And if we live that way, we change everything. In a divided world, two people holding hands are undivided. And I see y'all. We don't choose to be divided in this room. Sometimes we say things we shouldn't say. I admit it. Your only job is to get better. And come alongside with somebody that will pull you out and say, come on, let's get better. And so for those of y'all that said yes in the past, I want to remind you of what you said yes to besides leadership. You said yes to people who called you that you'd never met before. You had strangers in your car before we had cell phones. When we showed houses with the map book, young people, you have no idea how easy you had it. We were like, this house is in D4, and let me find it. And then you would talk and forget where you were going, have to do a detour and say, oh, I was just touring the next neighborhood, so we can check it out and go back to D4. And you did real estate with those strangers, not for yourself, you did it for them. You helped neighbors who had a 580 credit score, and 6 other realtors said, you can't buy, you can't buy, you can't buy. You were the one that said, I don't know how we're going to do it, but let's call one of our lenders and figure it out. And to my affiliate lenders in the room, you're the one that said yes to, you're not quite there yet, but let me help you. That's what you said yes to. And when you said yes, you didn't just say yes to the easy stuff. You didn't always just get the good houses. You didn't get the 10 out of 10. You got the house that has hoarders in it. And you didn't walk in and say anything ugly. You walked in with empathy and created a plan to help them go to their next stage. You walked into that mobile home and understood that that's the original affordable housing, and nobody that lives in a manufactured house should ever be shamed or made fun of because that house matters to them. You said yes more times than you ever said no. In fact, you did it at your own expense. Y'all have volunteered to the detriment of your businesses, but to the benefit of ours. You volunteered to the detriment of the time spent with your husbands and wives and kids, but to the benefit of ours so that we could support our families through the professional practice of real estate. And all I can tell you is, when I read Essay Poem to Dairy and it says to be rather than to sing, every one of you who came before me, I see who you are, I see what you've done, and I thank you. And I know that the biggest responsibility that lies in that gavel is the responsibility to make sure that the doors aren't just open to more people to come in this room, that we blow the wall down so that people want to come in, they see who we are, they want to be a part, and they come up to your table, all of you will say, yes, I will scooch over and pull a chair up for you. You do not have to wait at the back of the room until it is your turn. Please come sit by me and let me help you find your way, just like you do for buyers and sellers every day in this great state. There is no group of realtors I am proud to be a member of. There is no group of realtors that has such disparate needs as North Carolina has. The coast has their stuff, and the mountains have theirs. The Piedmont has the big cities, and in between you got Tier 1 and Tier 2 counties that are crying out to be seen, and you see all of them, and that's what we do here together. To be rather than to seem says that when we say we are proud to be of the great state of North Carolina, we mean it. And that when we welcome all those migrants that are coming in from California and New York and New Jersey and other high-tax states, we welcome them in too. And we teach them that liver mush is a delicacy. Because they don't know what they don't know. Right, Bonnie said amen, because she understands liver mush is a beautiful thing. And when I talk about that, you think about how we run our businesses. Your best businesses aren't run in spurts and fits and fires. Your best businesses run on kind of the slow burner. It's a little bit hotter sometimes, a little bit cooler sometimes, but the fire doesn't go out. And that's what consistency does for you. So my wish for you this year, as we go and do some amazing things for every neighbor in every zip code in this state, is that you take your job with the mindset of consistency. I want all of us to show up. And I want us to show up with our joy at the front. And I want us to show up with our hearts at the front. And I want us to learn how to pull the emotion back 2 seconds so that we can find the way to move forward. Because we're going to have an emotional year. We are going to see challenges. Fear is going to overtake a lot of our members. And the only way that you overcome fear is with faith. Amen. And I don't know about y'all, but I believe in the power of the American dream. I believe in what homeownership does for a single mom who just got her life kicked out of her, but she wants her kids to have somewhere they can get off the school bus every day and have some stability. I believe in that. I believe in that first generation buyer whose parents and grandparents never ever thought they would own anything, and here they found a place in North Carolina. I believe that matters, and I believe you do too. And if we take care of our businesses with a consistent mind that when the phone rings, it is not a lead. When the phone rings, it is a human and a neighbor, and that neighbor matters. My dad is a hero. I should let y'all know as well, when he got into real estate in 1978, he was 6 foot tall and had a full head of black hair. It's his joke, not mine. He forgot to tell it, so I had to. But on the first day I got in real estate, my dad started dropping the DT-isms, and my amazing company is up here at the front beside my family table, because they're basically the rest of my family. And they know all of these things too, because what DT says, Leigh Brown says, and what Leigh Brown says, Virginia Alter says. And that's what Katie Moore says, and Bonnie Reeder says, and Charlie Hilton, Vito Giorgio, and Lisa Smith, and Carol Lee. They all say it. And Jonathan as the token husband, thank you. So, here's what my daddy says. So I want you to convey this to the people with whom you work in real estate. When that phone rings, remember that that person could have called anybody. They chose you. For whatever reason, out of all the thousands of realtors you have as options. It's a wildly competitive business, but they chose you. So treat them with honor and respect. That's how I was raised. We don't discriminate on price point. We don't discriminate on anything. It's, oh, you called me? What's wrong? And that's how we operate with consistency. Thank you for training me that way. The other thing my daddy said, and y'all know he said this because you've been around me for a while. My daddy said, if you do people right, the money will find you. And if you want to work with consistency, you have to learn how to chase the outcome for somebody else and just figure you'll be all right. Because hasn't that worked out for most of us? And if we will train the next generation of Realtors to look at things with that mindset, they won't stop pursuing the American dream, because the biggest thing that you're going to give to the public in a rocky time is the belief that you don't work for your American dream, you work for theirs. That whatever you do will be for their best outcome, and then you will get to go along for the ride. Because that's how I feel about this job. If I do what's best for this body and the invisible members that we may never meet, but my local CEOs, you'll meet them when they complain about their dues billing. So I just know that you see them when we don't, but we honor them too. And also I want y'all to remember that I'm working for the Realtors who haven't become Realtors yet. Because one of our most important jobs, not just in replacing our volunteer roles, is to find the next generation of Realtor. To expose people to the beauty of entrepreneurial life. And the most amazing gift of real estate is that for a few $100, and if you just read the book, you can get your license. You can get a decent looking outfit at the Marshalls. Some of y'all prefer Ross or TJ Maxx, whatever. I'm a Marshalls girl. And get a decent outfit, and then you go out and hustle and talk to people. And you can build a business that looks like your wildest dreams. This is the last business on earth that really has that kind of freedom. And what better role do we have than to protect that and bring more people into this opportunity that we've had? And then my success will follow yours. Your success will follow that next generation. And frankly, then all of us can look at the next generation and sit back and say, this looks better than I left it. Because if there's anything I've learned from these past presidents, it is that each one of them, in a different and unique way, left this association better than they found it. In different ways. I probably won't leave like any of them. Although if there's anybody, it's probably Connie Corey, to be honest. They're wired a lot alike, so don't judge either of us for that. Celebrate us for that. But I say that to remind you that your style matters. The way that you conduct the business, as long as it's ethical and you're following license law and you're not a snake, a thief, or a cheat, I love that our businesses look different. I want us to celebrate that too. Because that's one of the beauties of real estate life. We get to serve every member of the public. We build our own businesses and we have our own style. And that makes us stronger. So make sure that if you're in a place where you're agreeing with everybody sitting around you, that you go find somebody else who can stir the pot. Because we all need a little more juice in our lives. So with that being said, I'm going to stop talking. Because y'all would like to get back to fellowshipping and networking and doing what Realtors do best, which is solving things together. I can't thank you enough for entrusting me with the gavel, just like you trusted me with video cameras and microphones. I will do my best. When I screw up, please give me a little grace and love me through it, because I promise that my goal is to get better so that you will get better alongside me. Thank you.